Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Did you know, I'm sure you did, that every year new words get put into our dictionaries and other words get taken out? About 10 years ago, maybe a bit more, there was a small outcry about some words to do with nature that were removed from the Oxford English Dictionary. Words like catkin and fern and dandelion and kingfisher were removed. This year, more words will disappear from the dictionary, and from the list I've seen, most of them I have to admit I've never heard used and I don't know the meaning of, although a few of them I do. There was aerodrome and charabanc, which I did recognise. And I wonder though, when someone comes across one of those words in a book, where will they go to discover the meaning if they're no longer in dictionaries? Or will it be okay if you've got Google? I don't know. But other words get put in as some are taken out, as language changes and develops, which is constantly happening. So you can probably guess some of the words and phrases that will be added this year: social distancing, climate crisis, eco anxiety, and one that I think should be in there, although I don't know if it will be: zoomed out. I am, to be honest, feeling a little zoomed out today. Zoom is a wonderful thing, but so far, since Monday morning, I have had 14 Zoom encounters this week, and it's still only Thursday. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any of those meetings were bad things in themselves. They weren't. And many of them were self inflicted, if you like to look at it that way, or initiated by me, might be a more generous way of putting it. Some of them sorted out things that needed sorting out. Some of them were deep and meaningful and very satisfying. Some were just fun. But sometimes, and I'm sure lots of you will identify with this, sometimes I get to a place where I've really just had enough of it. I gather from an article that I read online that this isn't just to do with screen time. And there's another phrase that went into the dictionary a few years ago. This is related to a character from Greek mythology called Narcissus. Narcissus, in case you don't know, was not a yellow springtime flower, but a very beautiful young man. Lots of people fell in love with him, but not only was he not interested in them, he treated them all with contempt. One of the people who he treated badly and sent away in despair was a young woman called Echo. And when Nemesis, the god of retribution and revenge, saw what had happened, she decided to punish Narcissus for his behaviour. She led Narcissus to a place where he saw his own reflection in a pool of water and fell in love with that reflection. Narcissus came to a bad end. It's a bit of a gruesome story, really. But when we're on Zoom, because of the way the cameras work, we're watching ourselves, aren't we? But even more than that, we are watching ourselves being watched. We're constantly observing ourselves, but also possibly being concerned about how other people are seeing us. And it's not good for us. At the start of one of my Zoom meetings this morning, somebody commented that they had read somewhere that since the start of lockdown, people investigating or taking up cosmetic surgery, going for cosmetic surgery, has gone up by something like 40%. And a lot of that is because people don't like the way they look on Zoom. That's just wrong. That just suggests to me that something really needs to change here. That maybe as much as anything else, we need to set ourselves a few boundaries around Zoom. I'm guessing that's not just me. Perhaps we need to give ourselves permission to say things like, I'm sorry, I can't do this evening. I need some time off screen. I need to sit in front of the fire with a book. I need to chill out in the bath with a glass of wine, or whatever it is for you. And perhaps if we use this current situation as a place to start saying out loud what we need in order to take care of ourselves, to guard our own sanity, maybe we will be better at communicating that to one another after the pandemic too. My favourite Bible verse is John chapter 10, verse 10. Well, the second half of the verse, really, where Jesus says that he has come to bring us fullness of life. My feeling at the moment is that fullness of life does not mean making life full of just one thing, but of making sure there's a balance and being prepared to say no to other people and to Zoom meetings if they're tipping our balance too far in the wrong direction. I'll leave you to do with that what you will. But as ever, I'm going to finish with a prayer. And as ever, if you would like to make it your prayer, feel free to stick an amen in the comments or say one to yourself at home. Life-giving God, thank you that you came to bring us fullness of life. Help us to use our common sense and to find a balance in our own lives that is good and life-giving. Amen. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for now.